Welcome back, Gary Ralph on. And this is my 4-week update on my second knee replacement. I'm in the basement. Actually trying to do my exercises. So this will be a little bit different than trying to do a recording out on the porch or something. What I have is somebody gave us this recumbent bike a long time ago. And I could try to get this. This is the knee I just worked on. Get it over that top. Okay. Anyway. Oh. So what I have to sometimes do is just go back. Let me see if I can show that. Come back so far, and then I go forward until it stops, and then I go backwards until it stops. And I can usually go backwards and break over easier than I go forward. But I got my seat back far enough that if I kind of lean back a little like that, I can go over. I know it's cheating, but it still stretches that knee out. So I'll do this for 5 to 10 minutes, and then I'll do my other exercises. But I thought if I can, talk about this while I'm doing this exercises. Might be easier to talk about while I'm stretching. Move things around here a little bit. Sorry about the shadow. Just the way the lighting is in this basement. So just have to deal with it. I don't have any external lights I can put on down here other than that one right there, which is an emergency light. I don't feel like putting that on. Okay, so yesterday was 4 weeks, and went to therapy yesterday, and I'm doing pretty good. They've moved me to 2 days a week starting this week. So I'm going to go. Yesterday I'm going to go again Friday. So in between, I do them at home, exercises. And I still got all these stretches to pull my knee back and stretch it, push it down in the joint. And I got standing on my toes and lifting my legs a certain way and doing marching in place. And there's a whole bunch of different ones I go through while I'm down here. But I start off with this to warm it up or loosen up the joint. This is what they do with physical therapy, is they get me on. It's a bike that pushes this way for a while, and then they take me over to a recumbent bike they have, just for a few minutes right now. Eventually, they'll take me off of that one that goes like this, and then they'll put me only on the recumbent bike. That's what they did with my first knee. I'll probably do that with the second one here eventually. I'm doing pretty good. I got down to 3 or 4 degrees towards zero, and then pulling it back. I'd gotten to 111, and I ended up getting 113, I think, yesterday. There was a whole lot of pulling and cringing and giving it everything I got, trying not to scream into the mask as I pulled that foot back, trying to get a little more stretch. But you have to do that. It hurts like crazy, but it gets it working better. So I try to do that at home too, as best I can. I know I don't push it as hard as they do with physical therapy, but I try to push it as hard as I can. And they took me off the walker about 2.5 weeks. Said I'd go to a cane. Really, I only use the cane. I've got it down here. I've got my cane. I use it by going down the stairs, or if I'm going on uneven ground or out on the porch or something. But when I'm just walking around the house, I don't use a cane. And of course, when I'm doing my exercises, my walking exercises, if I don't have anything to hang on to, I might carry the cane just so I have something to put down if I get all of a sudden my knee. Sometimes my knee will feel like it'll buckle out from under it. It's just weak, and I don't think it actually buckle and would go. It just feels like it, and just having something to grab onto, like putting the cane down or something, that's helpful. So, like I said, I've gone to 2.5 down to at 2.5 weeks. I've gone down to a cane, away from the walker. I try to get off the pain meds, and I could get off of them, but I hurt so much I couldn't sleep at night. And when that it was an immense amount of pain, but it was enough I couldn't get to sleep. And I'd lay there for 2-3 hours. And I got just tired of that. So I'm using the pain meds right now, mostly at night. If I have, like after this workout, if my knee's real sore, I may take a half of pain pill. It's weird though, because my first knee, after 2 weeks on the pain meds, my stomach was just queasy and sick all day long. And I had to get off of them. And this time, it hadn't affected me like that. And so, I've been on them, I was trying to get off them after a couple weeks, like I said, and I tried to get off of them again after 2.5 weeks, and I just, this past, let's see, today's Tuesday, and like last Thursday, I just said, forget it, and I just went back on them. Like I said, I mainly just take them at night, and I may take a little bit during the day, or I'll take a pill before I go to therapy or something, just so it makes it a little easier to work out. And but I haven't had anything this morning or all day, and I probably won't have anything unless it just starts bothering me that bad. But otherwise, I've just been using Tylenol. I can't. They don't want you taking the pain meds with like ibuprofen or Aleve, so I don't take the pain meds So I don't take the pain meds. You know, even though I'm going to take them at night, I don't trust taking like ibuprofen during the day. So anyway. So this is how it's going so far. I can feel my knees already loosening up. It's going around without me cringing so much. I'm actually speeding up a little bit here. My 2 knees. Okay. And my 1 hip. It's close enough. You can look at our clothesline down the basement. Anyway, trying to think of anything else on the updates. Like I said, it's progressing good. I'm still icing my knee. I sit around the lazy boy and ice it. I can't, if I sit in like a regular chair for very long, it still just starts aching a lot. It's not as bad. Used to be I could sit for a few minutes and I just have to go sit and put my feet up. Now I can sit maybe, 5 or 10 minutes, and then it starts aching enough. It's just like, okay, it's just uncomfortable. I could still sit there if I needed to, but this starts getting uncomfortable and I'm just like, okay, I'll go. So I got 3 ice machines now, and 2 of them have knee pumps. So I put one of them in the bedroom, and one of them I got out in the family room. And one in the bedroom at night, my wife, she'll fill it up like you're supposed to with ice, put so much water in it, and fill the rest of the way up with ice. There's lines inside the cooler, and it seems like it stays longer that way, but it'll still stay 3 or 4 hours if you just get water bottles, or I have like Diet Coke bottles and some other little drink bottles that are about that size, but they're no higher than the like 16.9 ounce, because if they're too high you can't get the lid down. And the taller ones, like the Diet Cokes or Coke bottles or whatever you want to get, they're tall enough that the lip of the lid hits them, so you gotta kind of shake the lid around and then get them to kind of work their way in. You get 4 bottles in there, and then they get inside of it, and then the lid will go down. You just don't want to force it because you'll break them plastic pieces. And you kind of get your fingers under between them and kind of push those in. You can kind of work it down too. But I got some other bottles. I don't even know what they came from. There's somebody else, like my brother-in-law had, and we kept the bottles from it. And they're actually shorter, but they're just as fat around. Can't get too big because you can't get the center pump's got to get down in there. But they're bigger around and shorter, so I can just put them 4 in there and just drop the lid on it, and it's good. And that still lasts 3 or 4 hours. And keep 12 of them. If you get those, keep 12 of those bottles in your freezer, because you put 4 of them in at a time, and they don't freeze as fast as they thaw out. So you'll go, say you go 4 hours, and you go to swap them out. You grab the next 4, put them in there. If you only got 8, by the time that next 4, and you put those back in the freezer, by the time that next 4 is thawed out, you go back in. The first 4 hasn't froze completely yet. That's why I get 12, and so I'm rotating 3 sets, and it gives them time to freeze each time. So I've done almost 11 minutes now, and I'm going to move on to my next thing. So I'll see you there. Okay, my next exercises, I'm going to pull my leg back. I'll show you kind of how I do that. Hopefully you can can see, I'm in this chair, I kind of scoop myself out a little. Sometimes they give me this belt, but you can use a towel, a sheet, rolled up, anything. Now, pull that back, and then I lean forward. Let it sit for a minute. Pull it back a little bit more, and lean forward. Oh goodness, that's tight. I'll do some more of those. I'll show you the other ones I do, so I don't have to keep you on here too long. And then the other thing I do is I get 2 chairs. The only reason I do 2, both my legs, is trying to work this one down too. But you can see that one goes down a little bit further than this one. And you get pushed down, you want a little crinkle in here. As you're pushing down, you want to see that crunch up. Is just this and not just pushing with your tail end butt muscles. And so if you put a little pressure on there, you can actually feel it going, pushing down here. You just hold it for a few seconds and let up. It's kind of weird that you have to push up on it to get a good push down. But it works. Well, so anyway, I gotta do more of those, but I won't make you sit through it. So I'm progressing. Like I said, I'm up to 100 and what was it? 100 and what did I say? 113 bending backwards, and 3 down. I gotta get from 0 to 120. So I got a ways to go still. But it's getting there a little bit every time, a little bit more. And it definitely, the therapist can definitely see a difference when I do this from home. When I do my exercises at home, and I don't. I mostly do them from home. There's been a few times I was hurt and didn't do them early on, and actually went backwards. I went, time I went from one session to the next, actually went worse. So I really got to keep that up. So once it hurts, and you don't feel like doing it at home, you got to do it. Go to physical therapy and do your home exercises the way they tell you, and don't try to get off the pain meds too soon if you can. If you can, I know some people can do fine with just Tylenol. I can take 2 Tylenol and don't even know I've taken anything. They're like water. I usually take 3 or 4 ibuprofen at a time when I take those. So I don't know if it's something to do with pain tolerances, if it's something to do with tolerances to medication, I don't know. But either way, it's just something I have to, you have to just deal with, whether you need the pain meds or not the pain meds. And then, of course, you don't want to stay on so long that you have problems getting off of them. That's always an issue, too. But I don't think I'm at that point yet, because I can, like I say, I can go all day without needing one or anything. I just take them mainly at night or when I'm hurting. So, and that's really not the way when you're first starting out, the first couple of weeks anyway, you just need to stay on them, because once you get behind, you just stay behind. Anyway, that's my update for 4 weeks. If you have any questions, leave them below, and check my other playlists out. Like I said, I've got where I had my rotator cuff, I had my hip replacement, and both my knees replaced, and I did playlists for all of that. I got playlists for all of those, so go check those out if you're thinking about having a surgery done. And I think it's going to be, when you first do it, and you just don't know if it's worth it or not. But now that I've hit 4 weeks, it's starting to get to that point where I think it's worth it now. And pretty soon I'll be doing a lot better. So y'all have a blessed day, and we'll talk to you later. Bye bye now.